Welcome back, everybody. Last game of the night going to be Shadow Walkers versus Breaking Bard. Shadow Walkers headed into this week with a 1-2 record. Breaking Bard headed in with a 3-0, managed to extend that to 4-0. Let's see if they can go undefeated yet again with the 5-0. Shadow Walkers going to have something to say about that, though. Everybody, I'm your host, Anson. Appreciate everybody coming out to our Saturday League games. Last one of the night here, and joining me in the co-caster's chair is my good friend Dave.
Going on.
Just a Base going to be joining us for Champion Select as well.
Hello, everyone.
And we've got Lisa and Kenan Rek'Sai being banned out on the blue side. Lysandra Aurelia LeBlanc getting banned out on the red side. So interesting, the Kenan ban. We've seen that played quite a bit tonight, and I'm guessing that Jetstone and crew don't really want to deal with support Kenan.
It was scary. I severely underestimated the power of it in a non-pro standing. Not gonna lie, I feel like I need to play it in solo queue now. At least when I duo queue, that is. Definitely when I want to play it by myself. I feel like they would just call me a troll and say I'm a feeder, and I would probably end up feeding, and it would just be terrible. But Bard and Kha'Zix keeps on getting hovered up, so I'm a little... I don't think it's going to be a Bard. That's for sure. Sejuani first picked again for, Shadow Walkers. Not
Once
gonna
again,
stop. Yeah.
The Sejuani hype chain is real.
Ooh,
But-
wow.
Callista.
That's
First pick.
That's some confidence in your mechanics.
Callista
and also,
Nunu. That's a great combo right there.
yeah, I'd be worried about the amount of great targeted CC still available to Shadow Walkers, though, because they could easily just right now be like, all right, I'm gonna lock in Maokai top and Nautilus support, and what do? Is you die.
I feel like if that's what they don't, if that is what they don't do right now, then they're probably gonna end up not losing, but I mean it would be very detrimental to them if they don't.
So
But,
what is with the
Orianna
Nunu
coming
pick?
through.
I'm not
Sipper.
I'm not understanding where that's going.
Nunu Callista is actually super good, especially just due to how Nunu is one of those champions that is very good in this protect the ADC, very good disengage, and I've always enjoyed watching a Nunu play. I mean, it was played I know it's played 3 of the 5 games out of Team Liquid versus Impulse today. It was played once over in EU, I believe, or actually probably played a little bit more over in EU. But I know Apricot's been practicing it as well. So either way, I've always loved playing Nunu, and I enjoy Nunu as a supporting type jungler, especially when you have a mid laner like Zed, who can actually benefit off that attack speed as well.
Yeah, Nunu's going to do a lot of work because in team fights, his absolute zero is going to create a zone in which Callista will be able to move through freely, just because no one will be able to even come close to her, and so she'll be able to produce tons of damage in team fights. And also, Nunu's strong early game jungle presence is going to do a lot to shut down the Sejuani, who needs time to farm and get Cinderhulk and other items before she can do things, whereas he can just kind of waddle in, consume the big camp, and walk away, and she's set back 70 gold.
And my favorite thing about Nunu, especially when you go, I don't know if they're going to do it this game, but if you go TP Smite, they're trolling us with having all of them having TP Smite, but if they
Well, nobody else can say it, just us.
Yeah, but it's funny to watch. Anyways, but if you go TP Smite in the top lane with Nunu, you basically have 2 smites on top of a Nunu consume, especially if you max consume second or first, depending on your playstyle of Nunu. I max consume first sometimes, max E sometimes, just really depends on the game. You basically cannot be contested for any dragons, any red or blue buffs, any barons, really, you just can't be contested for anything, and that's just so much of its own pressure alone that I love it. It's great. Just just because you have double smite and consume, or just smite and consume alone is always interesting.
It's fabulous if you can pull it off.
Yeah, but the Rumble going over to Jet this game.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yep.
Jet got Rumble?
Yep.
Holy
That's dangerous.
cow.
I just noticed in chat when Jet said something, I was like,
We saw today the devastating power of Sejuani Rumble. We saw that. That was like game 2 when they hit, or Dominate hit like a 4-man Sejuani ult, and Quas literally murdered the entire team.
It was so impressive. I didn't know what to do, but yeah. So Jet has Rumble. Mycroft is playing the young Lulu, and Killing Force playing the young Sivir. But yeah, all I can do is just really just shake my head, and just keep on saying yeah, because it's impressive.
You know, Kurosakai has really come through with his mechanics in the games that he's played. He's been a strong leading force on his team, and if anybody can pull off the first pick Kalista, I think it'd have to be him. I'd have to give it to him. But
oh yeah, absolutely. I think Kurosakai is a very, very strong contender for best ADC in the league. In every single game I've seen, he has done unbelievable work in lane and in team fights. He's just such a huge threat.
And
you forgot about
Shadow
Liquid
Walkers,
Swords.
I'll still give it to Kuro. Shadow Walkers have a lot to prove in this game. They have only got 1 win so far this season, and they're up against the powerhouse team of the league. Of course, we saw earlier, Acme Corp took out Trismegetsu. So anything's possible.
Upset
here.
Saturday. That's how I see it.
It certainly will be called that if we get a Shadow Walkers win out of this game. Not sure how that's going to turn out, but with Jet on Rumble, that is going to be big. Who we take these summoner hiders off? We don't need those anymore. Okay, so who are they going to send against him? Slaking. A Maokai against a Rumble, that's not exactly Ho's territory right there for Jetstone. So, are they going to send Mashari top to gank Jetstone? I see Jet escaping a lot of Nunu ganks. Nunu just not one of those champions that's really great at ganking. So this game, I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to the top lane. I want to see how this turns out. If Shadow Walkers can get Jetstone rolling, he will carry the rest of them.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a very interesting game to watch, especially if Jet, like you said, Jetstone's able to get off and just snowball off of like 1 or 2 kills in the top lane. I can definitely see it being a very interesting upset if I hope it will be. Granted, I love Breaking Bar team. I love all their players. I think they're some of the best players in the league, but if I want to see an upset, this is going to be the upset I want to see.
Upsets are a lot of fun to watch. We'll see how things end up turning out once we hit the Rift, guys. Caster's going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Thirty seconds until minions spawn.
All right, folks, welcome to our last game of the night. House Party 5v5 Saturday League. Shadow Walkers on the blue side, Breaking Bard on the red side. I am your host, Anson. Joining me here shortly, just in a few minutes, will be Just a Base in the co-caster's chair. And we are getting both sides set up and ready to go for this game. Kalista passive already doing a little scouting there. Catches Megatotodile out. Looks like Chibodi going to be taking the Sejuani with a golem start. Mashari opting to begin at his Gromp as well, and Jetstone has arrived into lane. We'll see what Slaking's able to do against him. That Maokai passive is going to help him a little bit with how much Jetstone spams the abilities, but Jet's damage output potential, if he gets his abilities laid down the way he wants to, is going to be a lot more than the long-term regeneration potential coming out from a Maokai. One of the things that he might want to do is try to farm underneath turret.
Honestly, I'm more surprised than anything else that Breaking Bard didn't lane swap. It would have favored them so much. The ability to deny the comparatively farm-heavy Rumble while your Maokai can still like super long-range E to force them to either tank a ton of creep damage or break the freeze. The advantage they could have generated is pretty sizable, so I'm surprised that we didn't see the 2v1.
Who do you think should have pulled the trigger on the lane swap there?
Oh, Breaking Bard, absolutely, because it punishes Maokai pretty much not at all, but it's a lot harder for Rumble. He is ranged, like with his E rockets and his Flame Spitter and all that, but it's much shorter range than a Maokai's E. That would cost.
We're already seeing Jetstone pushed up onto turret here. He does not have a ward, but the Nunu gets spotted out just as he heads over to check the blue buff area, and that speed shrine actually did end up getting taken by red team. So
it also looks like Maokai didn't do birds at level 1. Oh dear,
Slaking
this could be
is
trouble.
in trouble here. Nope, decides to back out. Jetstone not taking Ignite, going with the more team-friendly teleport. So you won't have that kill potential, but that was just so much damage onto Slaking that he's going to be forced to head back to base and heal up. Going to be using the teleport to get back to turret quicker. I think that was a good decision on his part. Don't see him really joining a lot of fights early necessarily, but that does leave Jetstone's teleport up, and I think Slaking's going to have to be looking to cancel if he fires it off.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. You can just Twisted Advance to stop it if they're anywhere near you. So, As long as Breaking Bard can maintain vision of Jetstone, they'll be able to prevent his teleport.
Jetstone getting some really good return damage onto Slaking. Slaking is pushed up underneath his turret. He has to be careful with the amount of distance between him and the protection of his turret right here. Despite the fact that it looks like he has Jet on the ropes, things could turn around very easily.
Yeah, he's got the ward down and he's holding a pink that he can drop afterwards, but like, I don't know, Slaking looks just to be taking way too much free damage in top lane. He's engaging in some very non-optimal trades that, it already cost him his teleport, and now he's like sitting half health, waiting to use flash charges and potions, and he's still behind in CS. He hasn't been able to abuse the lead that he got by backing and teleporting at all. He's still playing catch-up, which shouldn't really be happening that much, it seems.
Well, he's down by 10 CS now. Fly Knight and Kurosaki, meanwhile, are pushing up onto this turret, continuing their trend of aggression for the day. Looks like they're going to get that even way pushed up and then back out. They're actually headed over toward the Dragon Pit, or no, the Tri-Brush area. They might be trying to contest vision over there. The passive from Kurosaki does end up wandering the jungle here, so they're not going to spot out Chibodi just yet, but that is giving them good knowledge of where he's at on the map.
Yeah, all Breaking Bard has to do as far as map vision goes is try and get like a couple of deep wards, preferably near around the dragon side. So like a ward by the Raptor Pit and maybe one by the red, so that Nunu can safely invade and counter jungle Sejuani, putting her behind, because Sejuani provides a lot more in most late game fights through the power of her ultimate and her HP scaling on her flail than Nunu does. While Nunu excels in early situations, such as getting an early Baron, because he has Consume, which does an insane amount of damage to neutral objectives. Oh yeah, Hoi Hoi's even moved down, just to guarantee it, and possibly assassinating when he came to try to stop it.
It looked like he used the early game power of that Consume for a nice quick dragon. 7 minutes for Breaking Bard. That's a good early score for
He's
them.
maxing Consume. I like it. 700 true damage. That's going to enable a lot of early objectives.
Now, Slaking's in a good spot here. I think this is where he wants to be, up on his turret, or with it frozen just outside of turret range. Here he can sit back away from the Flame Spitter. Yes, he's letting Jetstone farm up pretty much without any type of answer, but at the same time, he's not feeding any kills. He's trying to get as much farm as he can under turret. I think it's just really making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, I'm amazed that Jetstone is still so healthy. I mean, he started Boots and 4, but like, the amount of health difference is absolutely insane, given that, you know, Maokai's passive restores % health, and that he backed and bought potions, and that he started Flask, which he's now used 6 charges of. I'm amazed at how well Jetstone has been trading. It doesn't seem like that amount of trading should be possible.
He's definitely got a really good command of that champion. Slaking knows that. He's going to let him have his way in the top lane without dying to him too much. That is, unless Jetstone can get a good tower dive ultimate, which he's sitting on 100% health, so why not, right?
Yeah, no, the longer Slacking sits there, the worse it's going to get, because, like, Jet can just... Oh, yeah, he backed. He knew that he could get dived. A full health Jet with ultimate could easily... Like, the second he tags Slaking with one of his harpoons, the slow would guarantee a huge, huge equalizer. Oh, now this is the trade you want. You turn your ult on to reduce the damage taken, you W and force him to stay in your minion wave, and then you just walk away and it's fine. And you can heal up with your passive, and with your catalyst, and with your flask. That's much better. Jetstone still wasn't back though. So the second he comes back, he'll have like a
Right.
haunting guys or pen boots, and we'll be in a bad spot again. But we've got an engaged bot.
Mycroft getting stunned here, has to flash away, and Fly Knight is on top of him with the flash in.
Nice.
Grabs the first blood kill. Slaking and Jetstone
Oh, dear.
duking it out here. Slaking's got to be careful.
Jetstone
Jetstone
overstayed.
has to flash.
Jetstone should have died.
The amount
wow.
of control Slaking has just from the amount of times he's gone back and bought items. The equalizer comes up over him, though. The Sejuani dash doesn't find what it's looking for there, and Slaking just going to be able to walk it off. So Jet heading back to base. He is going to pick up a needlessly large rod and an amplifying
Jesus.
tone. So he is going
We gotta dive.
balls to the wall here. Killing Force in some trouble. Mycroft there to help out, and the teleport is
man.
coming in. Bottom Jetstone could come up huge
This
here.
is really
Fly Knight,
bad.
Kurosakai, and Mashari are in the mix. Mashari with a great ultimate to provide distance for his team, but it looks like they are going to have to get out of there. Kurosakai's about on 200 health, and that's not a fight they want to continue fighting. Chibodi against Slaking in the top lane. Meanwhile, Slaking
That's
did
very
some
well done.
decent damage. So Slaking, I gotta hand it to him. He went into this at a disadvantage, not only in terms of champion, but in terms of jungle support and a lot of other things he didn't have going for him. He's got 0 deaths. He's equaling Jetstone's farm. So I really got to hand it to him, handling a high platinum level player with no jungle support in a matchup that's not quite as favorable and staying dead even in CS.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that Mashari's map awareness and positioning there was enough to allow them to bait out Jetstone's teleport for nothing. They got absolutely nothing out of that teleport.
Slaking been using
Yeah.
his teleport to get back to lane up top, so he was not available for that. But like you said, Jetstone pretty much he didn't get anything out of it either. Slaking right now gonna head back to base and heal up once again. Nope, deciding to stick around a little bit. Maybe he's got some
This-
confidence back.
Could be a little bit he's probably okay. He doesn't have vision of the jungler, which is the only thing. Is if Chibode came up top, Slaking dies 100%. There's no way he would survive both of their ultimates, but he assumes that the ward in the river is enough. As it is, Chibode is making his way down bot, and I don't know if that ward saw him. They didn't ping him out. That ward will, though. Chibode is finally seen.
Oh, Chabot showing himself to the pink ward here, deciding to go back in and get a few more licks on it. He's going to end up taking it out. Dragon respawning in 10 seconds, and both teams jockeying for position around this pit. It looks like at this point, Shadow Walkers had the advantage as far as Dragon positioning goes. The bottom lanes have still not stopped laning though, but Megatotodile is here
Oh,
for the gank. A
no.
great shockwave. Throws Killing Force back. Kurosakai has to use the ultimate to get him out. The Leon ultimate gonna lock down Killing Force now. And Kurosakai hiding backward. Jetstone has come to join the Dragon fight.
The Nunu bot left.
Get Mashari away from the Dragon Pit with just the Flame Spitter damage here. He's going to want to zone Mashari as much as possible to keep him from Consume Smite stealing this Dragon. They're doing an excellent job of playing around him, but he has
Boyhood's
the
taking mid.
flash. He's going to flash over
It's gone.
and grabs
Wow.
the steal. Jetstone did not chase through the jungle, and they end up giving the Dragon over. Yes, Flash Burn. Mashari ended up giving his life over for that, but he flashed over the wall and ended up securing that for his team. So second Dragon.
And
Of the
2
game.
towers. Mashari traded his life and his flash for a dragon and 2. That's so good. That alone put his team up 3,000 gold.
Really good positioning from Mashari to get that Dragon's. I don't even think he had to consume to Smite steal that out. I think he just hopped over the wall at just the opportune time and ended up just yanking it out from under Djibouti.
Really, really gutsy play on his part. I was worried about his positioning because like he was walking around the back of the pit, and there was no way he was going to get out of there alive. Little did I know, he didn't want to get out of there alive. He wanted that dragon.
Let's take a look at mid lane for a second. There's not been a lot of action going on there. No ganks focused in that area. Toto and Panda both sitting at the same level. Panda's got a little bit of a CS advantage, but he's got one level up on him as well, but not too much going on in that middle lane. We've yet to see either one roam or really contribute to the map overall outside that mid lane.
This is it. This is what I wanted to see. You can see Mashari, ton of wards in his inventory, has already placed a few. He took the wolf camp with Smite. Now he's countering the blue. He also countered the wolf camp, unlike the blue, because the timer on the blue is important, but you don't really care about repeatedly stealing your opponent's wolves. You just want to deny the wolves. Oh, jeez.
Jetstone gets jumped on by the ultimate here, but the Hourglass is going to keep him safe. He gets some great return damage, but Slaking is so tanky. The Flame Speeder's eating him alive along with the turret, though. He flashes out to get away from that, and then it's going to be another kill going, or first kill of the game, actually.
That was excellently timed on the part of Mashari and Slacking, because so Slacking's W, Twisted Advance, is similar to like Vladimir's Tool and Fizz's Pole. We'll talk about this later. We gotta fight mid.
Mega Totodile's in the middle of the fight here. The Shockwave not going to hit anybody, and just ended up standing on top of two people. Not where you want to be as a mage. Djibouti's getting chased down here. He's going to have to flash away from that. And take that back. That was the second kill of the game for Breaking Bard top lane. So they end up grabbing that one. Flash in from Kuro Sakai here, but the exhaust from Mycroft is going to negate that all-in potential. Kuro Sakai takes his turret shot on his way out. He's going to have to be careful as he sets things up here.
Jeez. And you can see the map control that Mashari's affording his team. He's literally running anywhere he wants across the map, and everywhere he goes, the enemy team has to back off, so his laners get an advantage. Oh dear, Jetstone. That's a Maokai. There's a Maokai in that bush.
He's going to want to drop the equalizer here. It's not up, though, unfortunately. Wow. The rest of the team come in for the assist, and Shadow Walkers grab themselves another kill. Breaking Bard have 2 dragons, 3 kills, and 4 turrets, so they've definitely got the pressure going into the mid game here, but Shadow Walker's still not out of this one quite yet.
Yeah, about Twisted Advance, it actually, you become completely invulnerable and untargetable. So when he Twisted Advanced onto Jetstone, the tower dropped aggro, and Mashari stepped forward to tank it, so Slaking could just walk out. It was really good. Otherwise, he would have died, and they would have 1-for-1'd, which would have been much worse.
A lot of calculated risks being taken here by Breaking Bard. They know Shadow Walkers are not just going to lay back and take it. They know we've got a good fight ahead of them here, and they're taking care to not make a lot of mistakes. But Shadow Walkers, plenty capable of turning things on their head, especially around a dragon fight or some type of close quarters controlled objective where Jetstone can throw that equalizer down and really wreak havoc. Djibouti's got the Glacial Prison locked down for that as well, so a bit of a wombo combo between those two, but it's sort of waiting for the perfect storm for them. There haven't been a lot of these really good engagements, and I think you can attribute a lot of that to Breaking Bard.
Oh boy.
Boy, going in a 2v1 situation,
He's
actually
gone.
flashes for the kill with the shurikens, uses the shadow to get back out. Amazing play from
Engage on the Totodile.
Toto has to flash over this wall in order to get out. Just
Kuro missed the spear.
there. And Slaking and Jetstone back to dueling it out again. Jet overheated just a little bit there, but he's got the Flame Spitter turned back on now. He's got to be careful. Slaking is dealing massive amounts of damage. Jetstone could be in trouble here. The Equalizer is available.
He's gone.
Not even going to remain alive long enough to use it. And, you know, Jet it may have been so long since he got to play Rumble, he may be a little rusty.
Yeah, that was just, he mismanaged his heat. He got silenced right at the end there, so if he had wanted to equalizer before, his opportunity was already gone. Also, he's, as nice as the Zhonya's Rush looks against Zed, because that's what it is. It's a very specific first item choice against a very terrifying Zed. But he's also against a team with 2 huge tanks and a Leona who will also eventually get really big. So this is a game where you could actually see someone first iteming the entire Leandries instead of just the Haunting guys. And he doesn't even have the guys yet. So he's going to have a really hard time breaking through the tons of HP and MR that Breaking Bard are going to be stacking. Oh man, another engage on a Jetstone. He's just getting bullied around. Slacking is just being a bully.
You know, I think at this point he's just not very tanky at all against a magic damage target. Even against attack damage target, would like to see a little bit more health on him before he gets in there. He's got 126 to Slaking's 159 farm at this stage. So Slaking really coming ahead in this matchup. And one that I really did not expect him to do this well in.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Wow, this is just, what do you even do in this position? You're just getting absolutely bodied. Like,
not much
you can't control your own jungle, you can't control anything.
The Breaking Bard are just dominating the pace of this game,
yeah.
And are just
that's a good call.
Every single aspect of it. The Baron's going to be 100% free to them. With the Nunu consumed smite, you don't have to worry about steal. Nobody even in the neighborhood could pull that off the steal there, so that just leaves Hoy
and you've got Rend too.
Push
like
this bottom lane.
It's actually completely impossible to steal any objectives from Breaking Bard. Nunu Callista is like, you can actually smite from 3,000 or 4,000.
It's a lot of damage to be put down. I think Breaking Bard made a good choice sending Hoy to split push. I mean, typically you want to send your Zed to split push as well, but with Jetstone in that bottom lane, I think Shadow Walkers may want to reconsider who they send. Shadow Walkers made a good choice as to who they send down there. If you took a look at that brief little matchup, Hoy was getting flame spittered quite a bit there, but he was able to get back out, but split push was staved off. And I think Jetstone wants to stick around in this bottom lane, but if Hoy can manage his cooldowns and his abilities and pull off a really good engage, I don't think that amount of armor onto Jetstone is going to make that big of a difference. But over a sustained siege and whatnot, I think Hoy may be at a disadvantage here, but we'll see how it plays out. Looks like both of them are going to go head-to-head once again.
Yeah, another really big difference that's important to consider is the AD carries. Callista's basically up an entire item, and the fact that she's so incredibly mobile in team fights and that Shadow Walkers are so far behind means that it's going to be really, really hard for them to shut down her sustained damage output, and it's probably going to hurt them really, really hard should a 5v5 team fight ever be allowed to break out.
Chibodi going in hard on the Fly Knight here. Kurosakai ults him out of the fight, and that gets him to safety. So that little burst of engage coming from Shadow Walkers there fended off quite handily, and Fly Knight is back in the mix here, wanting some more. Finds Chibodi with the E and the stun. Jetstone getting a turret though, and another kill goes over to Breaking Bard as they continue to dominate this map. Look at Mega Toto here. Had to exhaust in order to survive that tower dive, but Slaking is so healthy, he can just go back in once again. Toto has no hit points. And that
Bot tower's
forces
gone.
Killing Force up top. Bot tower.
This
going
is an
to fall
inhib,
at the back of
if
that.
not just a surrender. This game is... Wow. Talk about how to snowball a lead. Mishari's Nunu is horrifying. He was everywhere. He got everything.
Nunu, one of those champions that is really good at what he's good at. And if you can play him to the best of your ability and maximize and create those situations where he excels, then he can become a terror. And I think that's what we've seen Breaking Bard do here. I think that's what it comes down to time and time again for them. When it comes to wins, they have a great team composition. They have an idea going in, and they have practice executing on that idea. And I think that has been what has made them, along with Kuro Sakai's stellar play in the bottom lane, a force to be reckoned with in this league. You take a look at that farm, 142 to 224. On his way retreating, he's still at farming.
Jetstone, no!
Jet in a bad spot here. Uses his Onya's Hourglass. The Shockwave gonna hit 3 here. The Equalizer over the top. This could be it for Shadow Walkers. They are trying to get as many targets down as they can. 1, 2 falls. Hoi Hoi the Panda jumping in here onto Killing Force. No, not gonna jump in. Just gets the shurikens over the wall. Jumps afterward. Scouting for those targets here, but Chibodi trying to lock him down, forces the flash away. Hoi Hoi doesn't want any of that.
I'm surprised Kuro Sakai didn't position more aggressively, because as great as an equalizer as it was, and that was literally the perfect fight. That was the only fight Shadow Walkers had a chance of winning right there. And the thing is if Kuro Sakai had taken a risk and positioned himself over the side of the other wall within auto range, he would have gotten Hurricane procs onto everyone on the team at the risk of maybe his life. But if they didn't kill him, that would have been an ace and the game would have been over. As it is, they just backed off because they felt more comfortable playing the long game. They have 3 inhibs down, they're up 13,000 gold. They can just get a 4th dragon and, wait it out, go pressure, literally anything they want. The map is theirs. All they have to do is not fight in a clump, in the jungle. Instead, they'll fight in the base. And you can see, it's so early in the game, no one has enough damage to actually clear these super minions. With 3 inhibs down, both of the turrets are almost gone.
It is a disastrous situation for Shadow Walkers, having to fend off these double super minion waves. While it's still 27 minutes in the game, they can't even fend off the minions alone. Just the minions by themselves. They lost a turret, about to lose a second turret. Once the champions start funneling in here, this is going to be game for Shadow Walkers.
Just very well played in every single
Great
avenue.
solar flare there. The knock up onto 2. Mega and Chibodi gonna be falling here. No, Chibodi ends up flashing out toward the fountain, and that's going to leave Breaking Bard to clean up the Nexus here. Jetstone turns on
GG.
the Flame Spitter. Not going to be enough. Breaking Bard extend their lead to 5-0 in the group stage. They are undefeated. Can anybody stop them at this point?
After that game, I think the answer is no.
If you take a look at the schedule, Breaking Bard versus Trismegetsu, first game out of the box for next week. And I expect that will remain the first game of the night for next week, Saturday. Trismegetsu, probably the only team left that stands a chance of breaking Bard's winning streak. Industrious Gaming is going to be playing Breaking Bard later this season, and for the last Breaking Bard game, no, it looks like that is Industrious Gaming is going to be the last Breaking Bard game of the season. So